Hello and welcome to Sports Jam for the week of March 3rd. I'm John Jacobson.
I'm Jay Wilcox. It's March Madness, but the fun really gets started in February for the winter postseason. This week on the show, action from section hockey and boys basketball, plus state wrestling, and we'll meet an Osseo basketball star in our Sports Jam Spotlight.
We'll get started with state boys swimming and diving, where team depth for one local school paid off with some big hardware at the end of the season. Highlights from the Class AA Finals Saturday night at the U. First race of the night, Wayzata's 200 medley relay team of Court Hansen, Kevin Stowe, Christopher Karlstrom, and Jack Kelly finished second to Eastridge, the start of a big night for the Trojans. 200-yard freestyle, Mitch Herrera of Lakeville South wins. Greg Arnold of Wayzata is fourth, while Osseo's Nolan Vanderploeg finishes seventh, the Orioles' top finish on the night. Two Wayzata divers place in the top seven, Caleb Zarnes and Eric Mitchell here, who places fourth overall, pick up more valuable team points for the Trojans. Back to swimming and the 100 backstroke. Mike Rouleau of Maple Grove finishes second to Eden Prairie's Sam Hansen. Rouleau, though, sets a new school record with a time of 51.29 seconds. Great finish by Arnold of Wayzata in the 100 freestyle, coming from behind and winning the race in 45.48 seconds. It's Wayzata's only first place finish on the night. Four local swimmers were in the finals of the 100 breaststroke, and Brenner Hohenstein of Maple Grove finishes first, just ahead of Hopkins' Corey Lau, a new school record for Hohenstein. Wayzata, with a good overall team performance on the night, takes the state title. Here's what a couple of local champions had to say afterward.
I've worked so hard to get here, and I've had so much help from my coaches and all my friends. It just feels great. I'm so relieved.
I'd say it's a pretty good payoff. All the snow days that we've had, it's been a little hard, but it's a really nice payoff.
I was really proud that we had somebody qualify for the meet in every event, and we scored points in every event but one. So that shows really a lot of depth. A lot of people stepped up in a lot of different places, and we were really excited about it.
Championship in boys swimming and diving. Eastridge High School from Woodbury is second, with Eden Prairie, Hastings, and Minnetonka rounding out the top five. Maple Grove finishes 10th in Class AA. The combined Breck-Blake team finished second in Class A behind St. Thomas Academy. The Bear Stangs' Humphrey Pruitt finished first in the 100 breaststroke, while Brandon Pearson won diving. Now to hockey and three thrilling section finals on successive nights last week. The most recent was Friday night's Section 4A championship between top-seeded Trentino Grace and number 2 seed Montemedi. First period, Jason Critch sets up Ben Henderson for the goal, and it's a 2-1 Grace lead after one. The second period, though, is all Zephyrs. They win the draw, and Mike Neal's shot from the point is tipped in by Tanner Maralt, and it's 3-2 Montemedi. About 2 minutes later, the Eagles will turn it over in their own zone. Killen Campbell gets the shot. Joe Forcia the rebound for the goal. The Zephyrs have a 4-2 lead through two. But after a Kai Barber goal had cut the deficit to 4-3, the Eagles get a power play, and Carter Lyons rips a shot home. That ties the game. This one goes to overtime. In the OT, it's the Zephyrs. They can't clear the zone, and Chandler Nauman's shot from the point deflects off the Montemedi defenseman and in. Trentino Grace rallies, and they score the game's final 3 goals and get to state for the first time in 9 years. We'll hear from them later in the show. In Section 2A, Breck faced off with Orono in the final. First period, the Mustangs chase Ellingson. Out front to an open William Blake. It's a power play goal. Breck leads 1-0. A couple of minutes later, a rush for Orono. Trip Renard shoots. It's redirected in by Jared Girardi, and the game is tied at 1. Same score in the second period when Orono's Jake Flemmer spins, shoots, and scores. And the Spartans lead the top-seeded Mustangs. And it stays that way thanks to Orono goalie John Flackney, who stops 46 shots in the night. Orono wins 2-1 to advance to state for the first time since 2007.
After toppling top seed Wayzata in the semis, Benilde St. Margaret's faced number 2 seed Eden Prairie in the Section 6 AA final. Eden Prairie strikes first. Luke Snuggerud to Steven Spinner. He splits the D and slides it under Jalen Long for a 1-0 lead. Second period, and the Red Knights tie it up. Spencer Noss takes the puck off the sideboards here and walks out front before snapping the shot home for Benilde. Later in the second period, the Eden Prairie defenseman will fall behind his own net, and that allows Nate Meyer to get it to Will Duda in the slot. He scores. Benilde's up 2-1 after 2 periods. But in the third period, the Eagles tie it up. Spinner carries the puck in and centers it to Colton Schmidt for the quick shot and goal, and that makes it 2-2. This one goes to not one but 2 overtimes. Eden Prairie's Jack Kill cuts between the defensemen and rips in a wrist shot. That's a game winner, sending Eden Prairie to state with a 3-2 win.
Now to girls basketball, where teams wrapped up the regular season. Park Center playing host to Armstrong. The Pirates' Kayla McMorris directs traffic, gets a screen and pops the three-pointer as the Pirates race out to a 14-0 lead. Good start for PC, another jumper here for 2, making it 21-7 Park Center. Nice passing for Armstrong. Hannah Sasek to Lyric Williams for 2. The Falcons fight back to within 8, but they trail 32-15 at halftime. Williams has another good game for Armstrong. She battles after missing twice to score 2 of her 28 points. But Park Center rolls to a win. Great fast break. McKenna DuBois to McMorris, and leads the Pirates with 25 points in a 65-45 win.
Also in the Northwest Suburban, Champlain Park against Andover. Allison Jarrett's with the Rebels bucket here. Hayden Becker will hit a stop and pop 3 for the Huskies, and the Rebels, though, lead by 5 at the half. Second half, Becker gets tripped up on her drive. The ball is turned over, and Alexander's at the business end of the fast break for the layup to stretch the Champlain Park lead to 9. Alexander later is the distributor, setting up Genevieve Adkins for the layup as Champlain Park wins 58-51. They close the season with 4 straight wins. That brings us to playoff time in girls basketball. Several local teams should be in the running for trips to state. 5 local squads are in a slightly revamped Section 5 4A. Centennial's the top seed, followed by Champlain Park, Maple Grove, Osseo, and Cooper. Wayzata is number 8. The Trojans are at Centennial in the quarterfinals Thursday, along with Cooper at Osseo, Moundsview at Maple Grove, and Irondale at Champlain Park. The semis and finals are next week at Anoka. Hopkins is the number 1 seed in Section 6 4A, followed by Lake Conference rivals Minnetonka and Edina. Armstrong is seeded 6th. Hopkins hosts St. Louis Park, and Armstrong is at Edina in the quarters Tuesday. The semis are Saturday at Roosevelt. Park Center is the number 1 seed in Section 3 3A, with Totino Grace 2nd and De La Salle 3rd. Park Center hosts Johnson, and Totino Grace hosts Fridley Thursday. The semis are next Tuesday at Maple Grove, with the final at Anoka a week from Friday. Also, John Maranatha is the number 1 seed in Section 4A.
They are poised to make another run at state coming up. Next up here on Sports Jam, highlights from the finals in state wrestling, plus boys basketball playoff action. Welcome back to Sports Jam. The state wrestling tournament is now in the books.
The tournament wrapped up with individual finals on Saturday night. Osceo's Carson Brolsma in orange in the 145-pound Class 3A finals. Brolsma gets an escape in the third period against Mark Voss of St. Michael Albertville to get within 3-2, but he can't get a potential winning takedown, and Voss holds on for the state title. Better news for Totino Grace's Lance Bennick in Class 2A. Bennick locks the cradle on Mitch Strufford of Foley for near fall points in their 195-pound final. Bennick dominates, winning by technical fall for his 3rd state championship, and he celebrates with a flip.
Feels good. It's just a stepping stone on where I want to be. I want to be a 4-timer, and it's just another landmark for me to get to my goal.
In 3rd and 5th place matches, Jake Aller of Benilde St. Margaret's with the trip and upper body throws. He puts Anthony Jackson of Simley to his back in the 113-pound 3rd place match in Class 2A. Jackson battles for a while, but Aller gets the fall midway through the 3rd period to take 3rd place for the Red Knights. The Class 3A, Wayzata's Nick O'Brien in blue in the 132-pound fifth-place match. O'Brien gets the takedown on Grant Boldwan of White Bear Lake on the way to a convincing 9-3 win. Another Wayzata wrestler goes for fifth, and Colin Sohn locks the cradle on Brian Tierney of Mount Westonka in a rematch of their Section 6 final. Sohn pins Tierney to place fifth. Two local squads were in the team portion of the state wrestling tournament. After losing to eventual champ Apple Valley in the Class 3A quarterfinals, Maple Grove took on Wilmer in the consolation bracket. At 113 pounds, Tyler Shilson of Maple Grove stays busy here and gets a reversal on Juan Resendez. Shilson wins a major decision 11-3. Jack Herbies also gets a major decision. He gets near fall points and goes on to beat Jacob Bowling 15-6. But the Cardinals take down Maple Grove 36-26 is the final. In Class 2A, Totino Grace's title hopes came to an end in a very unusual way. The Eagles meeting Casson Manterville in the quarterfinals. Isaac Florell has Hayden Sheeran in trouble and gets the pin. After a Bennick pin, the controversy starts. At 2:20, Kez Flomo of Grace is up 7-5 when it's ruled that he bit Bryce Seljan. Flomo is disqualified. Totino Grace loses 4 team points, and Casson Manterville gets a pin at heavyweight to win 32-25. Grace ends up tying Pequot Lake's Pine River Bacchus in the consolation final.
Now to boys basketball, where former Lake and Classic Lake rivals Armstrong and Hopkins met up in the Section 6 4A semifinals in Chaska. An Armstrong turnover leads the points for Hopkins. Kamali Chambers comes up with the loose ball and feeds John Warren for the layup. 21 points for Warren in the game. Armstrong comes to play in the first half. Sean Burns is denied, gets his own rebound, misses again. But Brian Casperson is there to clean up. Armstrong leads 39-38 at halftime. Second half, and Jake Wright gets it to Amir Coffey for a three-pointer. It's part of a 27-point outing for Coffey as Hopkins starts to take over. Coffey strips the dribbler and recovers the loose ball before sending it ahead to Noble Fonbele for the easy layup. He scores 21 in the game. Armstrong keeps battling. Jerome Dixon to Casperson on the backdoor cut plus a foul. Hopkins wins to advance to the final, 88-76. In Section 5 4A, the semifinals and finals are this week. Number 2 seed Osseo hosted number 7 Wayzata in the quarterfinals. The Orioles' Jordan Dembley misses in close, fights though and gets the rebound and puts it back in. And it's an 8-2 Osseo lead. Ian Tyson is back now from a 2-month injury. He scores here on his way to a 17-point night. Orioles' top scorer Wheeler Baker hits the step-back jumper. Osseo is up big early on the Trojans. We'll meet Baker later in the show. Wayzata trying to keep it close. Brendan Brody drives and scores. The Orioles are too much, and they take it 81-62. Also in the 5 4A quarterfinals, 3rd seeded Maple Grove hosted number 6 seed Cooper. Nice job by the Crimson working the ball around the outside. Then they go in to read Nico for the basket and foul. Later in the first half, Maple Grove keeps the ball on the perimeter, and sharpshooting freshman Brad Davison knocks down the 3. It's 17-8 Crimson. A couple of trips down the court later, Davison with another 3, this one coming from the corner. Maple Grove up 14 on the Hawks. Davison with 19 points in the game. Cooper tries to rally in the second half. Ron Pickford. A couple of fakes here, and then he'll let it fly for a 3. 14 points in the night for him, but Maple Grove advances with a 70-54 win. Hart Center and number 1 seed Champlin Park also won in the quarterfinals. The Pirates and Rebels meet in the first semifinal Tuesday night at 6 at Rogers High School. Maple Grove and Osseo tip off in the second semi Tuesday at 8. The section final is Friday night. And J. Maranatha and Heritage advanced with quarterfinal wins in Class A in their section.
And Brooklyn Center and Benilde not as fortunate. Among others, they were ousted from section play. Staying with a basketball theme, we'll meet Osceo's Wheeler Baker up next in our Sports Jam Spotlight. Injuries played a part in a late season slump for the Osseo boys basketball team, but a high-scoring guard never missed a beat. In this week's Sports Jam Spotlight, we meet the Orioles' Wheeler Baker.
comes Baker, his pull-up, in, out, and back in.
He's been at times unstoppable. Osseo senior guard Wheeler Baker's poured in the points this season, averaging 23.6 through the regular season. Largely because of injuries, especially to Orioles all-time scoring leader Ian Tyson, Baker's had the green light.
First and foremost, I always want Ian Tyson on the court with me. It makes things a lot easier. But I mean, having the green light, to me, it's less about a green light and more about taking smart shots and scoring the basketball within the offense. It's been fun, absolutely, to score a lot of points. But for me, I want to make my teammates better. And whether that's scoring 30 points or scoring 10 points or 7 points like I did the other night, whatever gets the wins.
When you have two captains, Matt Metke and Ian Tyson go down with severe injuries. And it's nice to see other players rise up. And I believe that's what Wheeler has done during this time. So, yeah, it's been pretty impressive.
Wheeler's pumped in 41 against Armstrong, 37 against Blaine, 36 against Hopkins. He's topped 30 points 7 times in all. Not a lot of guards can say they're truly great shooters and drivers, but Baker can.
It is a rare combination because normally you get players who are just great shooters, and they don't have that ability to attack the rim. Wheeler has that.
Yeah, that's something my dad has taught me, to be multi-dimensional all the time when I'm on the court. Don't let the defense already know what you're going to do. And a big thing is a mid-range jump shot. That's a huge thing. In high school and college basketball, people are going away from the mid-range jump shot and being able to do more than just slash, more than just shoot the three-point ball, but to be an all-around basketball player.
Hooker jumps in the passing lane and gets the dunk.
Wheeler's quick to admit, playing against some of the great guards he's faced in the area has made him better.
I learned so many things from Quentin Hooker. Last year playing them twice, just observationally, I got to see him for 2 years, my sophomore and junior year. I learned a lot from him. I mean, Ian Smith, Champlain Park, I learned from him, playing him. He's cool, no emotion, I've played Tyus a couple times, obviously a great ball player. I played Rashad Vaughn.
While there's some basketball in his family history, another sport was tops.
My family is a track family, actually. But my dad played basketball. He played for Duluth Central, I believe.
And Wheeler didn't follow their lead onto the track.
I'm not, and my family can't stand it. My grandfather is actually the head track coach at Iowa, or was the head track coach for many years at Iowa, Ted Wheeler. So, it's tough for them to see me not running track, but I guess it just was never something that I really got into.
Baker signed a letter of intent to play Division I basketball for Albany, a team that played Duke in the opening round of the NCAA tournament last season.
The biggest thing was the sense of community, and the guys love each other, and they love playing for the coach, and it's just the aura, about the program. Also, academics are great, top in the country. It's just a good place. 17,000 students around there, so not too small, not too big. I guess I was on campus and it just fit.
Wheeler Baker says he's loved his time at Osseo. He had to sit out a year of varsity competition as a sophomore after transferring from De La Salle in a year that Osseo won the state Class 4A title.
It taught me that, your time will always come. And if you're patient, good things come from being patient. I got to learn from people like DJ Haybear, great defensive player, one of the best defensive players I've ever seen, alongside with Bridge, Tussler. They won with their heart and their passion and their hustle and for the game. And that's what basketball is about. It's less about who can shoot a three-point shot, who's more athletic, who can dunk. And it's really about, who has the passion for it.
Baker and the Orioles meet rival Maple Grove in the Section 5 4A semis Tuesday night, with the winner playing for the section title Friday. John talks hockey with State Class A qualifier Totino Grace next, plus our plays of the week.
Welcome back to Sports Jam. As you saw earlier in the program, Totino Grace is headed on to the State Class A tournament with an overtime win over Matamidi in the Section 4A championship. And 3 of the Eagles join us now on Sports Jam, starting with Chandler Nauman with a game-winning goal. Talk about this great comeback by your team and what it feels like to head on to state?
Well, we knew the whole time that we couldn't give up, couldn't stop working hard, and they were just saying throw pucks on the net, throw them low, get some rebounds, and that last chance, I got the puck at the point, threw it on net, hit off the body, and went in, and it's a great feeling.
First time to state for your team in 9 years. What does this mean to you guys who've never been to the state tournament before?
It's an unbelievable feeling, just even for us and all the alumni to be and represent our school in the state tournament. It's an unbelievable feeling.
Congratulations. Good luck at state.
Thank you.
All right, and Kai Barber, he played a big part in that comeback, scoring one of the goals there in the third period. Tell me about the mentality of the team going into the third period. You guys are down 2 goals, got to make a comeback against a team that was playing very well through 2.
Well, we couldn't get down on ourselves in the locker room. That was one big deal. All the seniors got up and talked in the locker room. We made sure we came out hard. We've been down before, and we've came back in games like Benilde, and we knew we could beat this team, so we just had to come out and prove to everyone that we can make it to state.
Tell me about the overtime. What's the intensity like when you're out there for every shift and knowing any mistake could cost you and any shot on goal could go in like it happened at the end?
Well, there's a lot of pressure, but we knew that we just had to get shots on net, and that at the end of the day, one puck was going to go in. So, I mean, we worked at practice, we stayed after, and that's what we worked hard for.
Good luck at the state tournament.
Thank you.
Cover lines, you can step in. You also had a goal, the tying goal there in the third period. Tell me about your play and the goal you scored.
We got the power play late in the game, and we just knew we had to capitalize, and I just threw it on net. I didn't even know it went in the net until I think it was Johnson down low, raised his arms, and it was just an unbelievable moment. Biggest goal of my career, hands down.
10 losses on the season, but you guys were playing well second half of the year. What picked up in your guys' game that allowed you to be in this position?
We just knew the teams that do best in playoffs are the ones that get on the rise late, and we knew we had to kind of get on a streak, and we just put the nose to the grindstone. We're working hard in practice and just turned it around.
Enjoyed this one for a few days. Good luck at state.
Thank you.
The Tino Grace Eagles on to the state tournament. They will open play on Wednesday, and as we go to break, here's a look at the Class A state tournament bracket and our place of the week. Follow 12 Sports replays and live events on Twitter, Facebook, and live stream. Watch your favorite high school athletes performing live on your computer or mobile device. Link to us on 12.tv.
Maple Grove, New Hope, and Brooklyn Center. Channel 12 is your local source.
When it comes to TV channels, you've got choices. As a matter of fact, you've got lots of choices. But only one channel is your local source in your community every day, bringing you the news, sports, events, and city information that affect you. So seek out the source. Channel 12, 30 years your local source.
Our game of the week is the Section 5 4A Boys Basketball Championship. The game is Friday night at Rogers High School. Watch it Saturday night at 10 o'clock or Sunday morning at 10 on Channel 12 and our website, 12.tv. And that's it for this week's show.
See you next time here on Sports Jam.